I come from a Protestant family. In 2015 I joined a Pentecostal church. I had this experience when we went to a one-week retreat of prayer to a mountain. The prayer was intense and I was deeply concentrated. On Wednesday while we were praying I began to feel weak in my body. As the prayer continued I saw that I was rising in the sky, but after reaching the height I saw that I was unable to continue to rise, and I began to fall. And then I saw my body on the ground and my spirit standing beside my body. Then I saw my spirit running here and there, not knowing I was going. I became like a wandering spirit. I was crying, "Where am I? Who can help me?" After wandering the earth I found myself before a huge pit. The road has ended, and I could jump over the pit to the other side because of the huge pit. I was in terror and confusion, screaming, "Where am I? Who can help me?" That's when I saw a huge chains coming down from the sky. This chains came down and rolled over my body and pulled me up above the dark pit. I saw that this chain turned me upside down. My feet were up and my head was down above the dark pit. This darkness was so thick that I could not see anything inside this pit. I was screaming, but there was no one to help me. This chain began to descend body downward inside the dark abyss. I shouted, "Jesus, save me!" And I was trying hard to hang on to something, but the chain continued to bring downward to the bottom of the black pit. Finally I reached the floor of the abyss, and I saw a massive landscape, fragmented in many departments. I was still crying, "Where am I? Who can help me?" I continued to look, and then I saw a multitude of demons. They were giant demon, medium demon and reapers demons. The reapers came to me with a whip and they were laughing and mocking me, and then they began to whip me. They said, "A wicked has arrived. We have been waiting for you, for we knew you will come to this place. Congratulations to you, our servant who do our will." I said, "I am not your servant. I am a servant of Jesus Christ." Demon continued to whip me and there was no rest. It was continual torment and unbearable. I said, "I am not a wicked one," but demon said, "Liar, you are a wicked. Welcome to this kingdom, it's your place. We knew that you will end up in this place. We welcomed you for you are our servant." Even I said that I served Jesus Christ. They still continue to whip me. Then they took to the department of thieves. When we entered the hall I saw a multitude of damned souls who were tormented without rest by demons because of the sin of theft like me. It was chaos and unreal. Everyone was crying in his torment, for we were punished according our sins. I kept protesting and said I was never a thief on earth, but demon kept saying, "You are a thief." That's when the demon pulled up a screen before me, and I saw a scene of my life when I was still an adolescent. On that day my father sent me to buy toothpaste. I bought the toothpaste, but I kept the change for myself instead of giving them back to my father. On that day it was written in the book of hell that I was a thief. I protested to the judges of hell and said it was my father's money. I have the right to use it. The demon told me, "You should have asked him. Since you failed to ask him, you are a thief." And they resumed the beating and torment. I cried, "Please Lord, give me a chance to return to the world. I will give Daddy his money back." The demon began to laugh at me while they were beating me. They kept calling me thief and liar, even though I protested. Then a second screen appeared before me, where I saw another scene of my life. It was a day where I wore my mother's shoes without her permission. In truth, my mother does not like anyone wearing that shoes, but I still wore it without telling her, and on hell it was written that I was a thief. I told demon, "It's my mother's shoes. What's wrong if I wear it without permission?" The demon began to beat me, calling, "You are a wicked, a thief and liar." I told them I did not steal my mother's shoes, I just wore it and I already returned it. They said, "Why did you fail to ask her before wearing it? You are a thief." And then a third scene of my life was projected on the screen. This time around it was in the classroom. On that day I did not have a pen, but my friend and colleague who was sitting next to me had 3 pens. Since she was a friend of mine, I took one of her pen and began to use it. It was not an issue for her. But the fact that I did not ask her permission before using it, the demon continued to beat me, calling me a thief. I said, "But she is my friend. Sometimes she also take my things and she does not ask me." Demon said, "Thief and liar." These demons were never tired of beating me, and they were tireless, for there was no rest in these punishment. They told me, "You are a wicked and you claim to serve God, but you have serve us and obey us. I said, Lord, please, I am not a thief. If you grant me to leave this place, I will never take someone's property without permission and authorization. And I was crying bitterly. The demon said to me, there is no point crying and praying to your God, because once a man or woman fall in this place, even if they pray to your God, he does not come here, for it's too late. This is a place of the wicked, and your God does not hear the prayers of the wicked like you. I still continued to cry and said to the demon, the Lord will listen to me. He should grant me grace to come out of this place. If I come out of this, I will not do these things again. These reapers demon were laughing at me and beating me, and the pain was unbearable. That's when I saw a hand that took me up and out of this department, and dropped me to another department, where I found souls that have aborted. The demon began to beat me, calling the wicked one and liar the one who abort babies. I cried and said, I have not aborted any baby. They said, here is a liar and wicked one. They said, you lied that you serve God, but you are not in the truth. And they were laughing at me and beating and calling me the killer of babies. That's when another screen appeared, and I saw a scene of my life that happened in 2006, when I was preparing to go to university, and this meant a lot for my parent. At that time I found out that I was pregnant. I told myself, if I have this baby I won't be able to go to university and my father will be devastated. I decided to abort the pregnancy. I thought there were no consequence because no one in the family knew about this abortion. I did not know that in hell everything was written and punishment was prepared for me. After watching this scene, the demon said, you are wicked, but you are denying your wickedness. You have watched how you have aborted a baby. Are you not guilty? Is this you or not? I said to these demon, I did that because my father wanted me to go to university. I did not want to disappoint them. These demon mocked me and began beat me again. They took a very long arrow that was burning and they introduced it in my genital part and it pierced my body. As a result, I was torn apart in two. They told me, since you went to the hospital for operation to remove the baby, we are operating you to do the same. I was screaming and said, I cannot bear this kind of pain. They continued to insert new arrow that had fire in my sex, and my body was torn apart, and then it reconstituted again. It was cycle of destruction of my body that was torn by the arrow and reconstituted again and again. These were the kind of torture that was supposed to kill me, but I was not dying. I screamed and begged the Lord for a second chance. I said, Lord, I will repent and change things. Demons were laughing and mocking me and beating and singing song of mockery. They said, there is no need to pray to the Lord because he is not here and he does not hear the prayer of the wicked. You deserve the torment that we are inflicting you because you have deviated from the way of the Lord. I said, Lord, the pain is too much, it's unbearable. If I return to the world I will not abort anymore, please give a chance. I did know if I abort I will suffer this kind of punishment. Demon laughed at me saying, you lied to people that you served God, now you see that you are a liar. You don't serve God in truth. I beg these demons, but they continue mocking me and introducing arrows of fire inside my genital organ to tear apart my whole body. It was unbearable suffering that was excruciating. That's when I saw that shining hand that came to grab me and took me out of this department to drop me to another department. It was the department of people who were attached to alcohol and cigarette. There were countless souls and demon tormenting them. I was protesting, I don't drink alcohol. When I look around this department I saw that they were making beer, but this beer was fire like lava. I saw massive brewery machines that was making beverage that were fiery. These souls that were drunkard were supposed to drink fire. Demon told me, you were attached to beer and alcohol, you are welcome to your place. When I protested they said to me, you are a liar, why are you denying everything you did on earth? I told demon I don't drink since I was a child. Then a screen appeared showing a scene of my life. I saw that when I got my state diploma, my big brother took me to his friend, and they brought me a beer to drink. I protested that I don't drink, but they insisted that it was a big day of celebration, and they said to me you must drink. Since I wanted to please them I drank the beer. But even if I was not drunk, it was written in hell that I was a drunkard. There are Christians that say I just drink a little, I don't get drunk. Understand that your name is written in hell as a drunkard. After watching these images, the demon forced me to drink beer of hell that was fire, and it was burning and melting all my body, that was reconstituted again and the melting again and again. All the organ inside my body were burning. I said, this pain is too much for me. Lord, if you grant me to return to the world, I will never touch beer or alcohol anymore. Then I was taken to the department of gossipers. The suffering here was unbearable and I was crying, Lord, why all this? The demon that were laughing at me said, these are the things that you do on earth, you deserve this. I said, I am not a gossiper, I don't calumniate people. Then a scene of my life was projected on the screen. I saw that it was a period where there was a wind blowing in our church and everybody was condemning the pastor, saying he did not behave well, and when people were condemning the pastor, I joined them and said, honestly, the pastor did wrong, he should not do it. When I said these words, it was written in hell that I was a gossiper. The demon told me, you should have visit your pastor and tell him that he did wrong, but you prefer to join the people who were gossiping against the pastor. You are guilty of gossiping, you deserve to be here. They put a machine on my mouth that was pulling my mouth. As a result, my mouth became big and long. You cannot imagine suffering. I said, Lord, this kind of suffering I cannot take it. Demon were laughing, calling me a wicked, you gossip against the man of God. I was crying so much and begging mercy. Then a hand came and grabbed me out of this department and dropped me to the fire of hell. I started to burn in the fire. Inside this fire there were worms of fire that governed me and ate me and penetrated all over my body. I was burning and being eaten by worms. It was a suffering that you cannot imagine. The demon told me, where you are now, even if you cry to God, he is not coming. Then I was removed from the fire and was dropped inside a frying pan. There is a frying pan in hell where the whole population of the world will fit, and I was being fried in the oil that was heated in this frying pan. While I was burning in the frying pan, the demon was laughing at me, telling me, you deserve this torment. It was suffering that you cannot imagine. Just like we fry fish in the frying pan, countless souls were being fried in this massive frying pan. I cried incessantly and non-stop because there is no rest and no peace and no help in hell. I said, Lord, save me, get me out of this place of pain. I will abandon sin and I will sin no more. But the demon were mocking me. And after burning in the frying pan, the shining hand came to take me out of this frying pan, and drop me in another department of hell where human were crushed inside mortar, just like women crush and grind cassava inside the mortar in Africa. Demons were crushing and grinding people inside mortar and until we became like flour, and then our body began to reconstitute inside this huge mortar and demons started to crush and grind us again. The suffering was unimaginable and demon were laughing at me, calling me wicked woman, you deserve this. I said, Lord, get me out of here, I will sin no more. Kill me if you don't want to save me. The demon said, there is no death here,